I'm back again, and there's going to be another multiple news reports, news reports of prophecy. All right, new reports. I should say new reports of prophecy. Reports plural. All right, and in this first one, you're gonna see Terrell Owens, Jake, pretty much going through the curses. You know, even to the T of the level in which, to the T in which the Lord said we were, as far as like the different grades of Jake, you know, from the most famous to the least famous. And that's in the scriptures, you know. And we got a few other things we're going to touch on, these different acts that is being passed, these big bills that they keep passing through the, Biden administration, in the past couple of days, past week, and what that's going into. And also we got some fulfilling of the prophecies in which the Lord spoke about regarding the race wars, civil war. More races is starting to be outright targeted. So these things is happening. But before we get into this, call Halam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakak Wadash. And so Lord willing, you edified. So what I want to do now is I want to actually grab that scripture to show the Lord. He specifically said that we would go through this from the least to the greatest of us. And that's regarding our, like I said, the different grades of Jake. So I want to grab that scripture. We got Jeremiah 6:13, and that's going to be addressing the ranks, right, of Jake, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And I want to grab this other one too. I was reading it earlier to point out how specifically Lord, would get. So we would just read this real quick. So in this regard, this is going to show you. It says this is Jeremiah 6:13, and this is talking about who? The Israelites. All right. The destruction of Jerusalem impending. So this is talking about the Israelites. Now we jump down to 13. It says, verse 13, for from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, and that will be on our level. Is the Lord really ranking it according to how he see it, right? Because really he would be ranking it in our realm and his realm. So in our realm, the greatest will obviously be your celebrities, and the least will be the not celebrities. But up there, the greatest will be those that the Lord actually esteem, right? That's going off on down to the rest. That's actually completely abominable in our esteem, like they're good down here on earth, right? So it says, and that's what we specifically want to make understood, but we want to focus on the greatest here, right? Or the least to him. And the greatest and the least to him will be the greatest here. So that would be the greatest here would be the celebrities. Remember, everything is upside down. All right, when you read Psalms, the 82nd chapter, it tells us that. It tells us that in Isaiah, the 29th chapter. For your turn, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right? So what's, horrific, abominable is celebrated and esteemed in the sight of man. And that's these celebrities. All right, like the Lord said, he says in Isaiah 9:16, for the leaders of this people caused them to err, and that's the celebrities. Also quoted and pointed out by Yahushua when he walked. And he talked about the blind leaders. So the top men, the greatest, right, on this realm, though, who are actually the least. And today that would translate to who? Celebrities, ball players, right? People that's known in different professions of our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But anyway, this is Jeremiah 6:13. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, everyone is given to covetousness, and from the prophet, even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely. Now, it's a particular one, which the Lord said he pretty much likens, the Wadi Hawabah Shemel Shah, Micah. You'll see this. This is Micah, Lord willing. It says, I'm going to start at 2. The good man is perished out of the earth. This is Micah 7 and 2. There is none upright men. There is none upright among men. They all lie and wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. So that's regarding the whole, basically Jake as a whole, but the elect, they pretty much would be separated from this because they at least acknowledge it. The rest don't. So that's regarding, today that will consist of even our celebrities, right? But it says that they may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince ask it, and the judge ask it for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up. The best of them is as a briar. The Lord said the best of them, the best of us is as a briar. The most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of thy watchman and thy visitation cometh. Now shall be their perplexity. Exactly. So while people thinking they're the greatest, the Lord said they off. They ain't shit, for lack of better words. All right? They're just as wicked. And now they're about to be visited, because you thought the curses will only visit, the regular Israelites, the non-esteemed among men, right? But whole time, those that are esteemed is just as often, they gonna feel it too. And that's prophecy. See that? And that's what Terrell Owens, that scripture would constitute a Terrell Owens. For those that know sports, he was a famous wide receiver. Back in his time, he played for, a few teams. All right. But yeah, he was a real renowned receiver, and he ended up, pretty much he just kept his celebrity, and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and get straight into this. And you're going to see pretty much the Lord bringing his word to pass. Pretty much a situation has befallen him to where he's been put in a situation, no matter how high up he's been made. He's been in the secluded, neighborhoods or whatever, different tax bracket, life and water tastes a little bit different to him. He started tasting the same thing. He had to taste. He has to, as with him being an Israelite, he's been made to come to grips. He got to drink of the cup as being a cursed Israelite, and that's pretty much what you're gonna see in this video. All right. So I just wanted to see if it was more in this. But yeah, that's basically the point. So we're going to be showing that, explaining this with the curses. But let's hit play on this.
Terrell Owens is off with a Karen in his community that admits Terrell Owens faces off with a Karen in his community that admits he's just a big, scary black man talking to a white woman. She admits to the first part of the video. Here it is.
I'm good. What's up, sir?
Not much. What's going on, folks?
I'm driving to my mailbox.
She telling me I'm speeding, telling me to slow down.
Slow down, and you rolled down his window and he started harassing.
First of all, I didn't harass you. She telling me to slow down. I said, what do you mean slow down? I said, yo, I'm just going to the mailbox. Then she goes, get out the middle of the road.
You almost hit me.
First of all, I almost hit you. Now you're just making up stuff.
No, I literally
Just like a Karen.
You almost hit me.
How did I almost hit you and I'm going to the mailbox?
I was a Karen.
Yeah, I called you a Karen when I came over here after you said I called the police. Absolutely. Then you went on to say, oh, I'm the subject of the HO meeting, this and that and the other. I got leave.
So Jake still, no matter what level, you know, that the greatest amongst them, due to them being off too, and Israelites too, you know, and everybody deemed to have went off. The Lord said everybody went off, according to Daniel the 9th chapter. They're being made to at different times amongst these celebrities, pretty much feel those curses, go through these curses, which is pretty much accepting the fact that you're in slavery, you know, you're a byword, so that translates to you're still a nigga, no matter what, and you know, Esau hates you, and you're not gonna get any peace here, right? And these things is to the level where it's astonishing, and it is a wonder. It is a wonder. Because it doesn't, you don't see this going on with anybody else. You know, and the way these situations befall our people is baffling. And it's even more baffling amongst those that's supposed to be esteemed. And to those that think they're esteemed, that believe they were esteemed due to, you know, eating of the devil's pie and you know, some sold out, some just may just honestly just been good at ball and, you know, or whatever. But a lot of these dudes sold out. A lot of them just, you know, end up falling into that esteem, which was just deceit. Because ain't none of the Israelites esteem. And that's that, man. So.
My house, this and that, and the other. Then you start bringing up my status, who I was, my HBO, my VH. You the one brought it up, lady.
See?
You did it, my VH. You the one brought it up, lady. I did it. You did it. You did. First of all, I didn't almost hit her. Sir, no, I'm fine, sir. First of all, I didn't almost hit her. I understand that. Just relax. Not finna sit up here.
He ran the stop sign.
Well, there is no stop sign. What are you talking about? I understand.
I wasn't, but I asked him to slow down, and he got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're going to yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your car.
You didn't have to talk to me that way either, Karen.
A black man approaching a white woman.
First of all, you had your boy right here, your husband right here. So first,
See, black. You don't even have an identity. Though he's esteemed, he made millions, he got millions, he's Terrell Owens, he has a name, so-called name. He's black, right? And you subjected to living the lie that the so-called white man, due to this being his world, wants to live, which is the fact that he's white, and in his world you're black, you're dirty, you're nothing, you're void of light. He's pure, right? So you've been made to acknowledge this illusion, which doesn't make any sense, and be afflicted by it too, Terrell Owens. All these celebrities. You know, and this just happened a few days ago, I believe. See if I can get the date. This just happened. See, people, this is new. You know, yeah, this sounds like some regular shit. It ain't. Exactly. He being made to. That's the point. He being brought down to, you know. But see, these dudes don't understand what's going on. We need our own community, our own bank. Y'all done, so-called Latinos. This is what we deal with, man. All right? But I just want to get the date. I'm not seeing it. I got another video which will show it, because he actually pretty much, after the incident, he went on talking about it. You know, he went on TMZ to talk about it. But anyway.
First of all, I don't do that type of stuff.
Relax.
You did. You put your car in park and you came
Yeah,
at me.
first of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
You can stop all of that, Karen.
Good designer brand.
So yeah, we're gonna just move on to the next video because that Jake is gonna go on and talk about it. Of course, he ain't gonna assess it, right?
Keep your
Maybe, he usually does it. I've seen a couple of his videos. So yeah, so you've seen it. So let's hear what T.O. got to say about it. All right, himself. Yeah, August 7th. So this just happened.
Why were you cognizant of making sure, hey, I don't get too excited here?
like I said, I mean, just
You. Why did you keep your cool? Why were you cognizant of making sure, hey, I don't get too excited here?
well, man, honestly, like I said, I mean, just with the statement that she said, in the video, just saying I'm a black man approaching a white woman. Again, like I said, if the wrong type of cops would have come out.
See? So Jake don't really take offense. They don't take that well when they're told they're black. But this is all this prophecy, This is what was said to happen to the Israelites. This is Deuteronomy 28, and this is happening because of our own disobedience, from that time that we was given the covenant, and set up as the Lord's people and broke it all the way till now, which we find ourselves still doing. So it says, verse 15, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy God to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, which we know clearly is probably more than likely the case if we're the Israelites. If you guys are saying we're the Israelites, yeah, which we are, we know more than likely we still disobeying because we don't even know the Lord's name. Most don't even know the Lord's name. When you read Lord right here, that's not actually Lord. That word right there is Yahweh. And you got most thinking that his name is God when it says voice of the Lord thy God. He's a God, he's our God. But his name is not God according to this, nor is it actually Lord. When you look this word up, it completely shows it to you. The Lord's name is within this. His name is Yahweh. All right? Right here. Yahweh. See that? Say it right there. It said English. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Even though I'm not here to talk about the name, but that just proved more than likely, if you don't know Yahweh told you to say this, you don't even know who Yahweh is, more than likely you doing what Yahweh told you not to do. All right? As it says, Yahweh. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yohei Wahe, it's Yahweh, right? So that's that. All right? So it's not Lord. But anyway, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh, thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now let's jump to you kind of see verse 15, right? 16, which is cursed shalt thou be in the city and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Don't matter where you live. It don't matter where you move to. It don't matter what tax bracket you move up to due to your profession, a celebrity. You're still going to be cursed in these neighborhoods, in these cities, in these neighborhoods of these cities. And you've seen it simply in that. Now I want to jump down to these specific curses I got lined up. Verse 34. So thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. And that's exactly what you see on him. He mad, man. Right? He's completely mad. I'm going to jump down to the point. You don't see nobody else being treated like this. You see the response to, which is basically stupidity, when it comes to us just being on the scene. You get dumb responses. Just you being in your own neighborhood, or, you want to get out and ask somebody a question. You get mad because you'll get mad when you see the response these things get. When you actually offended against, but you simply as an Israelite who's deemed as a so-called black person, Latino or Native American Indian person, are treated. You'll end up mad. All right? Let's move on. It says, verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. So Jake, a lot of them have heard this truth, but they still, don't want to adhere to it. Bald head, bald face, there's things he could do that he's just not doing. All right. And that's his downfall. All right. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee, what? These curses, for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, which is why he's being interviewed on this matter that he found himself in. It's a fairly unique one, because I guarantee if this was to happen to TMZ, wouldn't just be interviewing some so-called white person this happened to, because this is not going to happen to them. This is able to be treated like this because this is like a wonder, like, man, like,
Then, in the video, just saying I'm a black man approaching a white woman. Again, like I said, if the wrong type of cops would have come out, and it, like I said, they got the wrong type of information. You saw the video, she started crying. You never know how that situation could have turned. And so for me, I was very aware of the situation. Like I said, the world got to see what a lot of us black people have been sharing with America for so many years with what happened with George Floyd. It took a camera and almost 9 minutes for people to witness and see what I experienced, in it.
And that's what? Basically a wonder. See that? And they shall be upon thee for a sign. See that? And for a wonder. So these unique things will befall the Israelites, which are actually befalling so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because you're the Israelites, to show you who the Israelites, to show you you're the people, right? Dang, these some crazy things that's happening to these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Well, that's what the Lord said will happen to the Israelites. They will be these are the curses. These things being the curses, these different situations and events, right, will be for a sign and for a wonder that will be upon, us and our seed, man, forever until the curses is lifted, obviously. And you get that word, Mawapath, right? Malpath or Mawapath, the word wonder in the Hebrew being Mawapath. It's you get something. There's something wondered at. It's just something that catches your eyes, or something that it's just crazy, Not necessarily beautiful. It's like a unique thing. It's like, yo, this is a unique situation befalling these people,
The other night.
But no, mind you, they're not actually good ones, because the Lord said the curses will be for a sign and for a wonder, So Jake feels special, even in the fact that they cursed and can go talk about it and be like, no one's being treated like this, and it makes them even unique in that. And that's why they furthermore hate it. All right, we're hated, and now these celebrities they forced to deal with this. All right, and I had another one lined up. Okay, so yeah, Khan, 65 and 66. Let's hit play on his video though.
It took them to experience that, to experience what I've been going through. I've done it, I've been in certain situations like that before, and what we as a black community have been experiencing for many, many years. So I said that because that situation could have gone left. Bro, we could be talking, or I wouldn't even be here talking if that situation would have gone so bad. Could have died, to be quite honest. We could be talking if that situation would have gone so bad. Bro, I could have died, to be quite honest.
And that's the curses. And there ain't nothing more to say. Deuteronomy 28 and 65. And among these nations, meaning these other people outside of us, people outside our community, our race, of us so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that's the Israelites. And among these nations, meaning these other races, shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But you can't even jog outside, run outside the neighborhood, It says, but the Yahweh shall give thee there, these places we are at, which is amongst them, because we're not at home. We just living amongst them. We're from Israel. It says, he shall give thee, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart. Yeah, unsurety, I don't know. Felling of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt. See? And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. Some situations you might die. You like, man, I damn near could have lost my life. Or I might die just off you just being so-called black, Latino, Native American, Indian. No, if you being an Israelite, no matter what status, and that's being showed. So this is, is another. This is just some prophecy, a new report of prophecy, man. All right, it says, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. See that?
She could have gone left for many, many years. So, and what we as a black community have been experiencing for many, many years. So I said that because that situation could have gone left. Bro, we could be talking, or I wouldn't even be here talking if that situation would have gone so bad. Bro, I could have died, to be quite honest. Because there's been a number of situations and countless black men and people have been in this situation, and they didn't live to tell their truth. You think about the Emmett Till situation years ago. I always heard about the Emmett Till situation, but once I posted the video and I kept seeing the comments of Emmett Till, this is similar, I researched it and I'm like, man, I was blown away because I didn't know the details of how he died. And honestly, like I said, what she stated in that clip, in that video, was false accusations to the nth degree. And I took it to heart, and I say that because honestly, man, the roles could have been reversed, and I could have died, bro. I mean, I could have died. And
what else can he keep saying? And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. Yeah, and this was what makes us the Israelites, and people hate us for this. They hate us because they ain't us, man. Israel's history after the Exodus. See? Deuteronomy 1:1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. See that? And then later on, in the same book, Moses told the Israelites what? Verse 65. And verse 28, chapter 28, 65, Deuteronomy. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart. Right, the place we will be scattered to, we will be sent to, right? And felling of eyes and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life, right? So no matter you a celebrity, no matter how much money you got, you're going to find yourself in a situation where your life, retaining your life, keeping your life is not sure due to these curses befalling us. And playing out in these places that we are at, and through these people, these other races that we are amongst, who hate us, all right? And will be for signs and wonders, even when we make it out of them. That's a sign and a wonder. The whole situation went back to curses, so that's basically it.
The storyline would be totally different.
Let me hit you with one more before you go. As far as your petition, what do you think is appropriate here? Talking punishment. What would you like to see happen to the woman?
I think there should be some consequences to her actions. You just can't go around and blurt out things like that and then go about your everyday life and feel like as though you've gotten away with it. Because people are going to witness this, they're going to monitor this, and they feel that she got away with it. Somebody else is going to feel like they can do the same thing. But me, like I said, in the beginning, it was lighthearted. I didn't really, I wasn't going to do anything. But then I had to step back, and I had some friends to talk to me. I was like, man, this really is a serious matter. They had to bring it to my attention, like, T, what if you weren't you? What if it was some aggressive cops or whatever that came in and listened to what she said and with her statement, and they came toward me, and me knowing that I'm innocent in this situation, I'm going to resist because they're taking her side versus my side. That situation could have turned all bad.
Harold, thank you so much for coming on and telling the story.
And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, Zechariah 1:15. So they good, they chilling as they world. For I was a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So they taking Jake through situations that's beyond the curses, man. Like, and because they've been up so damn long. So what would have happened is, shit, you just wouldn't have been a dead Israelite if the Lord would have had it go that way. All right, the Lord say they what in Zechariah in the 11th chapter, that, you know, when they do stuff to us, they hold themselves guiltless. And what do they do to us? Well, according to Zechariah 11:4, they'll say, "If the Lord Yahweh my God feed the flock of the slaughter," right? This is talk. They slaughter us. So we telling our people who has been basically set to the slaughter, you know, these things I'm going into, whose possessors slay them, right? We're still on right now. You got a damn so-called white man last name. You don't even have a Hebrew name. You don't even have your native tongue. You know, nothing. All right. So it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them that say, "Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich," and their own shepherds pity them not. So when they kill us, they would have killed you. Us being in their possession right now, they just kill us day in, day out. You know, the Lord allow. And even when it was complete murder, would it be in a world, them running the judicial system and all these different things or whatever, you know, administrations of law, of justice, of serving or protecting. When they in a court of law, they hold themselves guiltless. Every time it comes down to a situation where they have took our life. So if they would have took your life, it would have just been that. So that's prophecy, man. And these celebrities, this is how we know we the Israelites, man. It don't matter. All right, so I want to move on to this next situation.
$67.
Pretty much, just want to run through this real quick. You know, because that completely takes you into the race wars, the civil wars in which the Lord spoke about, which I'm going to go ahead and line up now. All right. But I just want to have a quick intermission going into this, all right, which is these laws that the Biden administration are currently passing, which are actually what? A lot of them are just acts of unrighteous decrees. All right. So it says, I'm going to read this. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness, which they have prescribed. Exactly. So it's that simple. So these mugs, they write laws that are unrighteous. So they'll put it out like it's for one thing, but it's for unrighteousness. It's to hurt us, right? To turn aside the needy from judgment, verse 2, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right? So that's what go on with these laws. All right? This is Psalms 94. The Lord said he's implored to avenge his people. So this is not going. This is all good news with T.O. situation, because it shows we're the Israelites, and it shows that the Lord, he meant what he said, man. So that's good news. That's good. And then with all of these news reports, you know, you ought to see the positive side of it all, like how it works in our benefit, you know, as being the Hebrew Israelites. Because if that was real, T.O. completely fulfilled that. That means the rest is going to be fulfilled. You know, you read the rest of that chapter of the curses, it says, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you, but it doesn't say you won't be saved. You see? So, and we're going to be saved. When you read Jeremiah 30:7, you read countless other scriptures. You read Psalms 98 and verse 3-4. You read Psalms 91 and verse 16. You read all these different passages and it tell you this. We're going to be saved. You know, Romans 8:24, Romans 8:1. Romans 13 and 16, the Lord's going to avenge us, man. Read Zephaniah 3 and 8, all of these. All right? But anyway, this is Psalms 94 and 16. Slaki, I'm going to actually start at the point 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by the law? So a lot of these laws they've been passing is just mischief. The devil showing everybody his mischief in broad daylight. That's why the scriptures say they in broad daylight they meet with darkness.
Today is a day for fulfillment. Today America is delivering from people who will look back on this week.
So they trying to put people to sleep and actually fight against the Lord, because America can't be healed. As the Lord said, take balm for her pain for Babylon. If so, she may be healed. But that was sarcastically said. You know, he said that because you can't heal America. You can't make America great again. Which is why the one that puts that slogan is not even in office anymore, right? But they would think it's because they took him out of office and the elite bankers, they pick who they want. It's just simply that. The Lord got them picking what he wants them to pick. All right?
No.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So everything they signing into legislation for wickedness is just to bring their own in. It's to bring their own demise. All right?
We met this moment.
Today, President Biden signed the CHIPS and Science Act into law. This $280 billion bipartisan bill aims to strengthen U.S. competitiveness with China by investing in domestic semiconductor manufacturing and science research.
So that's good news. You know, it's a lot that go into this. I might start doing like a separate focus on the chip news segment, you know, or just covering, because that's something to really like pay attention to. You can't really mix that in with all the other news. Like, that's just, in a sense it is, but, but it's obviously more than this. You know, they signed the CHIPS and Science Act into law. See that? And the MOTB falls under a chip, because they say the chip goes into, which I don't want to go into in specific. This chip that they have in regards or in mind is the one that's in cars, computers, different things. Which hell, the MOTB, the Mark Beasley a chip. So this will obviously give aid to this, and you know it do. You know. So while they thinking they pushing the people, and people thinking, oh, it's just for for us to have better processors in our computers. It's chips and that. Anything that constitutes a chip, this could, help set up. But they'll just be blinded, pass on, and clap. This law will also probably give leeway to setting up a situation where you people are going to have to receive that dang chip, man. So that's basically that.
If you shop on it,
go ahead and just run through these real quick. So this is another law, another act they passed, bill, right, was this whole Inflation Reduction Act funds, which is pretty much, I'm going to just hit play.
Whole range of things that are really game changers for ordinary folks because of a number of things we got. It's going to need to be helped. A whole range of things that are really game changers for ordinary folks because of a number of things we got.
So they saying this Inflation Reduction Act was for ordinary folks. Well, ordinary folks is said to be being targeted, on numerous levels. All right, you read Psalms, the 64th chapter, right? And the second verse, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Verse 3, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So just how he said they have a people with focus, and these people with focus were who?
The whole range of things that are really game changers for ordinary folks.
Ordinary folks. But the scriptures talk about how the wicked, they got their focal point on a people group, a certain people group, and they're known as the perfect. And that perfect goes back to Jacob. You look the word Jacob up, or when you look up what Jacob was said to be, was a plain man, that word plain going to perfect. All right? And I'm going to actually grab that really quick. This is Genesis 25, just to hit that point. And 27, you go to it, get that word plain, as it tell you. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So when you get to Jacob, and we get Jacob's characteristic, which was said to be plain in Hebrew, the word for that would be tham. His characteristic was said to be tham, perfect, meaning perfect. All right? So according to this, in Psalms 64, according to the Lord, he's not a man that he should lie. These wicked people that take counsels and, you know, speak words on these podiums, on these different networks, when they shoot, is at the perfect. So they shooting at Jacob. They're actually shooting at Jacob. Jacob being you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of land, snares, privilege. They say, who shall see them? So that's that. And I had one more, because they said ordinary folk. Or ordinary folk is people that ain't balling, according to this world. So this is Proverbs 30 and 14. It says, there is a generation whose teeth are as swords. That's dealing with, you know, these laws of the damn so-called white man, his system, right? His reinforcement, the way he break things down, which is seen through his laws, you know, his military, his police enforcement, all these different things whose teeth are as swords, and swords is killing instruments. This will teeth break you down, and ultimately a sword can take your life. So these teeth break down, can break you down, you know, in regards to the state of your life. And their jaw teeth as knives to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men, who will be ordinary people to everybody, right? Regular, ordinary people. All right? And so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are more than anybody, even though they tell you they're the minority, they're the majority, because they're the Israelites, who are as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered. So the most ordinary people, the ordinary folks, will consist mainly of Israelites who are not winning, or who ain't running the earth. Because even if you, like T.O., he's still ordinary. That's what she told dude. She told T.O., I don't care who you are or your status. You're not Esau, you don't run the earth. On top of that, so you're ordinary. So this is in regards to the ordinary people, Jacob.
Because
So this Inflation Reduction Act was in thought of Jake.
for things we got done on a bipartisan basis, like $1.2 billion infrastructure project, like really game changing for ordinary folks.
So they
Because
said this Inflation Reduction Act is a game changer for ordinary folks.
the number of things we got done on a bipartisan basis, like $1.2 billion infrastructure project, like what we're doing today, we passed yesterday, helping taking care of everything from healthcare to God knows what else.
Time for the hot topic.
See that?
President Joe Biden sounding confused and profoundly unfamiliar with the specifics of the Democrats' massive spending bill. Todd, God knows what else. I think we're all saying that. God knows what's in that giant monstrosity.
But we really should expect nothing more from this president based upon the last 20 months.
So yeah, man, it's that simple. All right. So you believe every word if you want. Everything the devil say, the scriptures talk about how. Let me grab that scripture real quick. You know, everything he say is death, man. It says there's a word that is clothed about with death. Let it not be found in, the inheritance of Jacob. You can read that in Sirach 23 and 12. But I want to get this one. What was I just going? Oh, yeah. Many have fallen by the sword. Yep. Let's pull that up real quick. Let's go to King James. All right. And we're gonna go to Sirach in the 28th chapter in the 18th verse. All right. Jump down. Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, in the 28th chapter and the 18th verse. And it reads what? It says, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. See? So it's going to be some great enormous things for ordinary people.
Range of things that are really game changers for ordinary folks because of a number of things we got done on a bipartisan basis, like $1.2 billion infrastructure project, like what we're doing today, we passed yesterday, helping taking care of everything from health.
Yeah, money to fund your death.
God knows what else today, helping taking care of everything from health care to God knows what else.
I mean, telling on themselves, man. Health care. Well, the scriptures already say they're physicians of no value, according to Job in the 13th chapter in the 4th verse. Yeah, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Oh that ye will altogether hold your peace, and it shall be your wisdom. Yeah, because they push witchcraft. They don't push health care. They push witchcraft. All right. To you Israelites. So you going on buying that bill, you thinking Joe Biden is helping y'all with billions of dollars that he told you was set up to tell you is for, to help you. You're going to get put to death, man. As it say, Sirach 28 and 18, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. We're not telling you to be skeptical because we're telling you to. Because the Lord's telling you to be skeptical. This is why we tell you to be skeptical. Because you're in a wicked world, right? The next verse says what? Well is he that is defended from he. Slakia. Well is he that is defended from it, and have not passed through the venom thereof. That goes back to who? The devil, the serpent. Who have not drawn the yoke thereof, nor has been bound in her bands. Exactly. He got niggas in mental slavery, which is why the Lord said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All right? That's what the Lord said, man. So that's basically it on that. That's all I wanted to touch on with that. I tell you right here. St. John 8 and 36, if the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. All right? And who's the Son? The Yahweh Shai, who's a.k.a. the Word. So this Word will make you free. And we see it, This Word puts us on game, man. All right? Verse 32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It's that simple. All right? So that's pretty much it. You heard him. What else? God knows what's else in that. It's in that package, man.
Time for the Hot Topic Buzz. That was President Joe Biden sounding confused and profoundly unfamiliar with the specifics of the Democrats' massive spending bill. Todd, God knows what else. I think we're all saying that. God knows what's in that giant monstrosity.
But we really should expect nothing more.
Yeah, and all those that follow him, which is what? Wickedness.
This president based upon the last 20 months.
Iniquity. Unrighteous decrees.
But the bigger issue is, if this is your signature achievement that you are taking into the midterms, this is the achievement, quote unquote, that you're hanging your hat on to the American people, you'd think you'd be able to come up with something more than, you know, the thing. I mean, that's what my 96-year-old grandfather used to say, you know, as he was rounding third there, God bless his soul. This is not what... So
that's basically it, man. All right, so another thing, because I was speaking on this the other day, you know, at the gas pump, you know, I got word, you know what I'm saying, that pretty much the gas price is not the only thing going down, which is due to this Inflation Reduction Act, which exposes the devil, which I explained in that video. You go watch it. But, you know, they taking the taxes off as if they're helping people, but they're exposing themselves, because where do you get the money to do this if everybody's been suffering because there hasn't been any pretty much bargaining with the usual companies you would. So now your profit has went down on what you was making, which made sense for you to make shit more expensive so you can compensate for the money you're no longer making. And you push that and make that the case because you're truly not making it. But now you retract on it, which makes it look like, well, is that really the case? Was you really hurt? No. You know? It was a rumor of war. It was a lie. It was a ploy. Right? Alley-oop. But anyway, they took the taxes off through this. Taking the taxes off through that gas through this act, but also on the food. So that, and you know, it's not just on for those that may have link cards or whatever it may be, EBT, whatever you want to call it. They also taking it off because that stuff not taxed, but they also taking the taxes off for just regular food. Like if you go buy food, there's no taxes on it anymore. Pretty much to compensate people as if, and they want you to see it like that. And just go on. And basically when you go on, according to scriptures, not looking well to your going, you're punished, man. Not looking well to your going, you get punished. When you read Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, and you will go on in the form of getting comfortable and thinking everything cool, like, oh man, they helping us. This is Proverbs 22:2. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, right, was down the pipeline, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So we bracing, you know. We ain't getting comfortable just because they letting gas go down. Ain't no taxes on. Nah, we waiting on the destruction to happen because we know that's what's sold, you know. And those that ain't looking at it like that, you know, which is what's actually going on through this, these so-called acts of deceitful care, these deceitful acts of care, but instead taking it as it's real. These people that see it like they see it like it's real, and they go on and say it's peace, it's good. Then sudden destruction come upon their ass. They the main ones that get bit, you know. The venom, and it spreads. Now, and they caught up with the so-called white man. Now they can't remove themselves. The venom has spread too far. They too far gone. Before you know it, they completely hooked, and they caught up in the system, you know, and they become a damn robot, you know, which is later on in his devil plans. That's what all is leading to. So that's basically it. That's all I want to say on that. Bring out.
There are two types of lizard kinds of beings. When they appear on Earth, they try to do it covertly. Some come from a total different reality. Others come from...
See, you can't. It's spiritual. That's the damn devil, man.
With English.
Now, go ahead and wrapping this up, because I'm going to go ahead and close out. This is the last part. So all this is, you know, reports. So you watch these Reduction Act bills, they definitely staging a lot of things. The CHIP Act, you know, the dang Inflation Reduction Act to rock people to sleep to get comfortable. That's going to actually affect the economy in a different way too, which that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to go into that now. But yeah, that's that. Now you have here, I'm going to start here.
Gotta show you this incredible ad from Jerome Davison, a black American Republican who is running for Congress in Arizona, and he has some thoughts about Democrats, race, and gun control. Now, our lawyers tell me we have to warn you, this ad does contain violent material. Have a look.
Democrats like to say that no one needs...
So this is dealing with the race wars in which the Lord spoke about. This is Matthew 24, and it's a sign that's good. All this good news, man, because the previous news is dealing with pretty much devil coming down having great wrath because he have a short time. So they, plotting in the darkness and they being exposed, and it shows that we got it right. We know what's going on, and we do well that we take heed to this word as a light that shine in darkness, man. And we hold forth this word in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom we shine as lights, according to Philippians the 2nd chapter, and I believe the other one was 2 Peter the 1st chapter. But if I'm not mistaken on that one, but yeah. So that's good news. So he on his way out, and we got it right, and he can't get us, and the Lord is in our favor, man. Judgment returning unto righteousness. We know how to move according in these moments when these devils bring these different things out. We already know to foresee the evil, to double check it, to not believe it, not be simple. That's how we're supposed to deal. That's judgment. Judgment shall return unto righteousness. All right. And now with this is dealing with the race wars, which the Lord said will happen and will be a sign of his coming, which is another thing that makes this all good news at the end of the day. This is Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation. That's race against race, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So that was the sign of his return. So
AR-15
This ad does contain violent material. Have a look.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
Yeah, and this also going into sedition. There should be sedition among men. All right, because that's enticing. All right, they pushing the ad like this. That's prophecy. It says what? For the sword, I'm actually started 14, 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. Race war, civil war. People got beef over different things like major groups, people groups, ethnicities against another ethnicity, in a real embedded way. That's unexplainable because it's of prophecy. And everybody don't know the dang prophecy, man. The prophecy, Slaki. It says, shall stand up to fight against one another and swords in their hands. That's exactly what this is about.
You need that semi-automatic. A dozen angry Democrats in
See?
Klan hoods. You just might need that semi-automatic.
Jake not going to be saved by they both. They want you to think you are. Read Psalms, the 44th chapter, right? The 3rd verse, I believe. It might be the 6th or 7th or 3rd verse. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and the people shall stand up to fight against one another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. Right, they will be enticing men to do this. See that? It's all happening. And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their action shall stand in their power. So we right on track. And it feels good to know you're on track and you know what's going on. It's good news. All right? So that's pretty much that. Now, let's get detailed. This is something that happened, and you're seeing it on a higher level now. It's getting bigger than just the so-called white and black thing. You're going to really see this, man. Lord will put this spirit upon all people to bring forth it to this level, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. All right? In a violent way to what? Bring this, the end of America. He said, by violence shall Babylon be thrown down.
We heard APD's and the FBI's call for help in 4 languages commonly spoken in Muslim communities, like Arabic.
We cannot denounce strongly enough what appears to be the targeting of people because of their race and religion.
Hindi.
We urge our entire interfaith community of Albuquerque and all the people of Albuquerque to help law enforcement identify and catch the person or persons responsible.
Dari and Urdu.
We also want to surround the impacted community.
So it's a community that's being targeted, the so-called people group or the so-called Muslims, which will go back to Ishmael, you know what I'm saying? And you got other ethnic groups that's a part of being, you know, in that bugged out doctrine of, you know, being a Muslim, but Ishmael is being targeted now. People going against so-called, they're killing these Muslims. It took place in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, right? They murdering, someone's targeting so-called Muslim men, you know, Ishmaelites, because of their race, because of different reasons, but, you know, which, you know.
With care, compassion, and so want to surround the impacted community with care, compassion, and protection, and we want to help our neighbors feel safe and supported.
As APD asked,
4 Muslim men wounded up dead, murdered.
Entire community for any information they might have related to these 4 murders of Muslim men. The department says they don't have any suspect.
Tonight, a terrified Muslim community in Albuquerque on edge after the killings of 4 Muslim men, authorities calling their shooting deaths targeted.
There are several things in common with all 4 of the homicides, and we're digging back and looking at any other crime that might fit a similar pattern.
Police say the latest victim, 25-year-old Naim Hussein, was found dead Friday night from a gunshot wound outside the Lutheran Family Services, known for providing services for refugees. Just days ago, Hussein attended the funerals of 2 of the other Albuquerque murder victims, Muhammad Asfal Hussein and Aftab Hussein, all 3 originally from Pakistan. The president of the Islamic Center of New Mexico hoping investigators comb all possible links.
The community is, it's very deflated and eagerly awaiting some response, some answer to why.
All 4 men targeted in public areas of this section in Albuquerque. The FBI is now involved. Authorities now desperately searching for this vehicle they say may be tied to all 4 killings.
You have to be able to repair.
So there you go. The Lord said, nation shall rise against nation. All right? And that's what you're seeing, man. A people group against another people group. Civil war, whatever level you want to see it on. That's second Ezra, that's civil war, right? But people go back to races. So civil war, race war, world war, right? That's what's happening. These race wars.
4 separate attacks. Tonight, police in Albuquerque are now looking for a car they believe may be linked to the murders. 3 of those murders within just the past 2 weeks. Police believe the murders may be connected, and ABC's Alex Brachet is in Albuquerque.
Tonight, the urgent hunt to find who's behind a string of killings in Albuquerque's Muslim community. The FBI assisting local law enforcement.
The Lord, prophecy.
They're focusing on a vehicle of interest.
The vehicle is a dark silver sedan with 4 doors and tinted windows.
4 Muslim men killed in this community over the last 9 months. These pictures posted by the Islamic Center of...
A lot of these dudes ain't obviously Ishmaelites, right? But nonetheless, this is a people group which goes into, people just it's still going to the prophecy because the Lord say, not only nation gonna rise against nation, like just being racist. People basically, what this show you is that people gonna come against each other for different standings, different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when it becomes civil war, and it just so happens that people go back to racist. This is why overall as nations end up becoming racist. You know? This is 2nd Ezra 10 and 31. I'm going to actually start at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, dealing with Jake. And it says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. But this is the point, verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So this is all prophecy. This still falls this. So you will see dudes mixed up. They getting murdered just for the realm they coming from, you know, due to being in opposition of another realm in which those they would be killed by would be coming from. You know, feeling like they coming. That's the time we in, man. You know, love of many wax and cold. So it's powerful, man.
To count. Authorities believe the killings may all be related. The latest victim, 25-year-old Naeem Hussein, murdered just days ago. Last Monday, 27-year-old Mohammed Afzal Hussein was gunned down. On July 26, 41-year-old Aftab Hussein was found with gunshot wounds and later died. And in November, a fourth man, Muhammad Ahmadi, was shot and killed. The killings putting many Muslims here on edge.
People feel like members of the community are being targeted and killed, so they're scared.
Adding patrol now guarding the Islamic Center. We met with Muhammad Imtiaz.
So yeah, that's that. I got one last one. I'm gonna wrap this up. So Lord, well, you've been edified. So yeah, you know.
And the wet environment makes
Killings of 4 Muslim men in Albuquerque, all of Southeast Asian descent, all living, working, and worshiping in the same area, is sending an undercurrent of fear among families.
This is unprecedented. You know, the Muslim community is no stranger to hate crimes and acts of hate, but we've never
Bugged out Jake.
something.
He might ain't be Jake. You never know.
Yes.
Muhammad Ahmadi, Muhammad Afzal Hussein, Aftab Hussein, and Naeem Hussein all shot, police say, in ambush attacks at night. Law enforcement are now stepping up protections at mosques after the latest killing happened on Friday.
So you're gonna have people just blowing other people's brains out because they Muslim and they're not. They're Muslim and they're damn, you know, Amish or something. It's gonna get to that level. It's gonna get to that level. It's getting there. All right, that's what's happening.
The police is doing a great job.
You're gonna have just realms against other realms, cities against people against. That's how it's gonna be.
Actually, they come and they're patrolling the area. Something we have to tell the community now that be careful. You should never be out during the nighttime.
Police said the most.
So that's basically it. So Lord, when you've been edified, say, Call Halam Lai Hawabah Shemel Shawa Harakakadash. Double honor to the hopefully like elder apostles slated to be saved. Lord, want to start with the elder men at the GMS church. All right. I'm going to close out here in the book of Luke in the 21st chapter. You know, double honors to the hopefully like elder men at the Great Millstone Church. Lord willing, slated to be saved. Shalom to the rest that may be out here under the same doctrine and been out here under the same doctrine onward to the Akim. Here at this faction of this hopefully elect assembly that we have and we're in on. All right. Doing what they need to do in the order. Shalom to the Akim doing likewise. And to the rest of you believers also in on this faith of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. So this is Luke 21, and I'm going to start at verse 28. And when these things become to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. That's what all this is about and coming to, man. All right? That's the end all be of all this. So as these things happening, our redemption is nigher, is near, more immortality, right? No more pain, ruling, forever, eternity. Call I'm like how Bashmi Al-Shah. Shalom.